Life speaks. It speaks through struggles and success, through music and messages, the preconceived and the unexpected. Whether you are in the depths of the valley or in the midst of your mountaintop experience. Well, I don't know what happened there. That was a little odd. But good evening, everybody. I'm glad I was here. I could have been away getting my cup of coffee or something, but welcome. Welcome to When Life Speaks. I am your host, Andrea Hines, and I'm glad that you are with me this evening. This is going to be an E2 program. And when we do an E2, I come on and we do a little bit of poetry, just kind of give you something to just relax you for the evening after a busy day. And I have a couple of things that I want to share with you tonight, and I'm going to do that. And I want to get some information to you. And so I want you to be at a place where you either have a pen and paper if you still are antiquated like I am and you still like to write things down. It'd be good to write these things down, or if you put the notes in your phone, or however you do that, because there's some things coming up that I want to be able to share with you and want you to be able to share with other people. So I hope you have had a good week so far this week. The days are getting busier and busier. There's more on our plates than we can imagine. And there's always something going on that we have to take care of or that we have to do. But it's okay. It's okay because we never do them alone, and we always have God with us, and He is always talking to us and helping us to get through the things that He wants us to get through. So that's the kind of week that I have had. And I don't know what you've had going on or what you have planned for the weekend. But I like to start the show by telling you about some things that are coming up. And I'll also encourage you, if you are partnering with an agency, or if you are partnering with a community organization, a nonprofit, if you know of somebody who has something going on, an event coming up that we can support or be a part of, please be sure to let me know. Send me an email to speaklifewithandrea@gmail.com. That's speaklifewithandrea@gmail.com. Good evening, Angie. How are you this evening? That's Angela Cooks, our South Carolina connection. And I think Angie may help us out and share this with some folks tonight. If you can, that would be great, 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 great. But I'm glad to have you on the program this evening. Angie also has a program on Friday nights, and it is called Whole and Beautiful. And it's right here on ALH Broadcasting. If you have never listened to Angie and her program and her guests, look, that's what you want to do. Friday nights at 7 p.m. You can come right back here to ALH Broadcasting and see what Angie has going on. She's always got something good up her sleeve. So we like to support her in the things that she is doing. So let me tell you what is happening. I only have information tonight from Sisters Who Care. I like to try and have something also from the organization that deals with homelessness, and I can't call the name of it right now, but if I have it before we end the show, then Families Together. That's what it is, Families Together. And I'm trying to get a handle on when their fundraisers are, because they always have match fundraisers, and that means that whatever you give, it foundations will either double that donation or triple that donation, and they're able to do so much more. So if it's the double match, of course, if you gave $25, they would turn it into 50, and if it's a triple match, they turn it into 75. So a little goes a long way, but I haven't been able to get in touch with them yet and get that information from them. But when I do, I will be sure to post it. So we're going to talk about some things that Sisters Who Care are doing. And Elder Lisa Jacobs, who's been on our program a couple of times, has afforded me this information. The first thing is not Bible study. They have a Discovery Series Zoom Bible study that starts on Monday, February 12th. And that will be on, I think, probably in the Sisters Who Care group. So kind of be looking out for that. And there is an upcoming retreat. I've talked to you about the retreat before. That retreat is going to be held in May 31st through June 1st, and it is the I Am Her retreat. I'm Her retreat. And that Her stands for Healing, Empowerment, and Restoration. Now, why am I telling you now about something that's happening in May? Because if you're anything like I am, you'll probably forget it by March. But we're not going to do that this time. We're going to write it down. We're going to put it in our notes. We're going to be on the lookout for it because registration opens on the 12th of February, which is next week. So we want you to be aware of it. We want you to be on the lookout for it. And of course, I'll be talking about it from now until they probably cut off the registration. I intend to be there. I hope that you intend to be there. And for those who are out of town, you are welcome, welcome, welcome. I think I want to say that it's going to be in Ashboro, Ashboro or Asheville. I don't have the location down, but you know that I will get it to you. So if you want to go, if you're looking for a girls' getaway, if you're looking for a time to just relax yourself and just clear your mind and clear the clutter from what may be going on in your life, because our lives can get very, very cluttered. And sometimes you just need to get away. You need to see a different um, environment. And to be in the mountains of North Carolina is a beautiful, beautiful place to be. And that seems like a good time of year to go. So be on the lookout for that. March is Women's History Month, and they have a service project that they're going to be doing. They're going to be collecting feminine hygiene products, and we will have more information about drop off and all that good stuff in the weeks ahead. But I want you to just, kind of put it down, make a note somewhere. And sometimes, you have a group of friends and you sit down and you kind of chatting about things that you want to do and plans that you've made and all that. Get a group together and say, let's do this, let's support this. And that's something that we're going to be talking about. Supporting, celebrating, and serving are going to be our topics coming up in the next few weeks. And in that group with uh, Sisters Who Care, Apostle Regina Stevenson is serving on the mission field in Nigeria and Kenya. And Bishop Dr. Stephanie is serving the people of God in Belize, So I'm telling you, this is a group that is really moving and shaking, really, really doing some amazing things, and they have expanded their reach past the communities in which they live. And we want to keep them in prayer from time to time when we are aware of those who may be really, really stretching away from home. We want to be sure that we lift them up in prayer and keep them covered as they're doing God's work. And it's just an honor, I think, to be able to pray for people. Sometimes it's a privilege to be able to pray and to be able to pray for those who have really, really gone outside of the box, outside of their comfort zone, outside of where they generally would minister or would be supporting other things, that we cover them, that we pray for them, that God would strengthen them and keep them safe when they're going. And I don't know if there's anybody out there who has a desire to be a part of a mission project, and you just don't know how to do it or don't know of one that's going on. I'm sure that if you contacted Elder Lisa D. Jacobs, Elder Lisa Jacobs, and Sisters Who Care, they can put you in touch with a group that may be doing exactly that. Exactly that. So I think that takes care of our news to note from Sisters Who Care tonight. And we thank Elder Lisa for giving us that information. Okay, want to move on, and I want to move on to just because. Just because. I told you guys at the beginning of the year that I wanted to do something just because. Wanted to be a blessing to some folks without it being their birthday, without it being Christmas, without it being a holiday or anything like that. I just wanted to bless them just because. Just because it's good to get surprises in the mail. Now, my just because won't be a check in the mail. So let's clear that up right now. I don't want you to get too excited and think that When Life Speaks is going to send you a check in the mail. No, but I will send you something nice. I will send you something that I pray you will enjoy. And we're going to do it by a wheel selection. I couldn't get it working the way that I wanted to get it working tonight, but I will tell you in advance that we're going to do the first one on the last Thursday of this month. So on the last Thursday of this month, we are going to select someone just because, and we're going to send them a nice gift. Now, I'm going to read off some names. I know that there will be people who will come in on the replay or listen to this a little later. If you hear me call a name and it's somebody that you know, and if you have a way of getting in touch with them, please let them know that their name is going to be, they're going to be in a place to perhaps be selected to get a gift just because. And if you want to, and I did not call your name, then be sure and send me an email to whenlifespeaks@gmail.com. That's whenlifespeaks@gmail.com. And we will add you to the name for the drawing so that we don't miss anybody. I want to do this at least once a month throughout the year, but I can't do it without you. So if you want to participate in this, be sure that you let me know by sending me an email, or if you want to be a part of the village, and I'll talk to you about the village in just a minute. But the names that I have for those who have already signed up for Just Because are Mark Avery, Eugenia Hicks, and I'm saying these slowly, so if you catch a name, just kind of make a note of it. Shanara Connolly, Joanne Davis, Annette Murray, Debbie Lawrence, Carl Turner. I think this is right. Michael Lee Lloyd II and Gerald Lloyd, Kay Washington, and Sandra Velez, Velez, Velez. I think I'm saying that right. Now, some of these were listeners that came in from Road to Recovery or were on the program where we interviewed Dr. Rita Suda a couple of weeks ago. So if these are names that are familiar to you, just be sure and let them know that the last Thursday in the month, we're going to elect someone to get our Just Because package. Okay, that takes care of that. Now let me tell you about the village. The village. I was getting ready to say every month, but it's not every month. But every now and then there are people who have agreed to be part of the village. I can't have everybody as a guest all the time, but there are people who like to weigh in on the various topics that we have. Angie, you're one of them. Angie comes in, Linda Cooks comes in sometimes, and Marsha Marcellus will come in. Let me see who else. Bernice Clark will come in from time to time. And you can come in as well. If you're not part of the village and would like to be, send an email. Send an email, Speak Life with Andrea at gmail.com, and let me know that you would like to, and I would put your name on the list. There are certain topics that we like to cover. You don't have to participate in every one all the time, but there may be one that sparks your interest and one that you say, I got something to say about that, or this is how I feel about that. And I want to share what I have. I want to share the testimony that I may have that might go in the line with and in tandem with that particular topic. The rest of the month, we're going to be talking about three things, and one is support, the other is celebrate, and the third one is serve. And let me just read to you what went out to the village. Because this was uh, Black History Month, because this is a month that, for whatever reason, has tons of awareness things. If you got a copy of the newsletters, we talked about some of them. Some of them are silly, some of them are very, very serious, but just a lot going on to make people aware. It could be Heart Month, it could be leukemia, it could be cancer, it could be HIV/AIDS, could be those kinds of awareness things. And then there are things like National Tater Tot Day and National Flirting Week and things like that. And you think, why? What are we doing with this? But it's good to have fun sometimes, have a little laughter, on the life on the lighter side, as we put it. But if you are interested in commenting in any on any of these, please feel sure to send me something, because people are doing great things, and everybody is not fighting, and everybody is not, at a place where they're just at their wits end about things. But they don't always make the news. They're not always going to be in a space to be recognized on a national or international level. But everyone who impacts our lives won't get there. They won't be in the Black history books. But there are heroes and sheroes who have impacted us in one way or another. Could be a family member, could be a friend, an educator, could be a neighbor. Um, Give them a shout out by sending in their name and how they touched your life or how they have impacted your community. That's all you have to do. And we will mention them in one of our programs before this month is over. That's something that we want to do. I know I have had teachers, a fourth grade teacher that named Miss Simons. Now, I am way past the fourth grade, but she had such an impact in my life because she introduced me to live theater. And it was the most mesmerizing experience. And I love theater to this day, I think, because of Miss Simons and what she taught me about theater and performing and exposing me to the arts. Now, the other thing, many people have, people, they've got Facebook groups, they've got ministries, they've got prayer groups, they've got Bible studies. They are putting on conferences. They're putting on events. If that's you, we want to know about it. And better still, let us know who you are supporting. You have tons of friends, lots of friends. But yet, if you're having something, giving something, doing something, they don't always support. So it's a personal challenge to you out there. You got a friend who's doing something. You have a friend who's written a book. You have a friend who is starting a ministry. You know somebody who is having a conference. Make it a point to support and let us know what you're supporting, because you never know. We may be able to support them too. Sometimes there are mission things that they are doing. We had a conference, and we were asked to bring jeans for Jesus. And we did. And sometimes you may not be able to go to all of these things, but you can support them in some way or other. So we're going to be talking about how we do that, how we can better support. We want to be a blessing. We say we want to be a blessing. So what are we going to do to be that blessing? So that's another area. And what is the other thing? Oh, how do you serve? How do you serve? How do you serve? Um, some people are very into prison ministry. Some people like to go to the shelter. There are a lot of shelters who would love for people to come in. There are nursing homes, there are things like that. But what people are looking for, and what I see most often, is they looking for consistency. They don't want somebody to come every Christmas, and they don't see them anymore. And the seniors love children. They love to see the children come. So if you have children, if your church has a youth ministry or something like that, think about ways that you can serve, ways that you can give back. Everything doesn't cost, everything does not have a price tag to it. And the price tag may be time. It may just be sending time. They might just want you to come in and read to them. They might just want you to be available. Sometimes maybe you can take somebody to a doctor's appointment that needs to go. There are many, 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 many things out here that we can do. And we're going to be exploring them this month. So we're going to talk about how we can support. We're going to talk about people that we want to celebrate. And I know there are a ton of them because I hear you talking about them. I hear you. So we want somebody else to hear you as well, and to be able to celebrate as well and serve. We're going to think of different ways to serve. We're going to really search out and see what's happening in my community that I can do. What is it that I can share in, and what is it I can be a part of. So we're going to be looking at those things, and on the let me see if I have it right in line with that, and in line with people that we want to celebrate on the 22nd, on Thursday, the 22nd, not next Thursday, but the Thursday after, we will have a guest on. We had Dr. Rita Suter on, like I said, a couple of weeks ago, and she was just a phenomenal woman who's doing many, many great things in the community, from things from music to transitional homes, and just doing so much. And she came in under the power of one. And this woman of God is also coming in under the power of one on the 22nd of February. Her name is Pastor Janice Hargrove, Pastor Janice Hargrove, and she has Chosen Generation Daycare, which is a phenomenal story about the daycare. But she also has opened a boys' home. She has a group home. She's been able to employ people in her daycare from her group home. There's so much that she has done, and so many things that she has tapped into, and so many lives that she is changing. So I want you to hear her story. So I want you to be back here, especially on the 22nd. Every Thursday for the rest of this month, we are doing something special. Something we're going to try to do something unique and something a little bit different than what we usually do. So I want you to come back. I want you to be a part of what's going on here at When Life Speaks. And I want to. These are always E2s are short shows, so I hope that you have gained something from what I've told you tonight, and that you will take these notes and these things to heart and participate. But I want to leave you with one thing, one little poem. I only got one little poem to share with you tonight, and it's about history. It's about history. Um, Hey there, Pastor Valerie. Glad to have you in the house tonight. Um, Here we go. Here we go. Each day, you have the opportunity to remember those present and past who've made an impact on your life. Their contributions will outlast the material things you have right now, for generations are coming still with gifts and talents, treasures untapped, and prophetic words to fulfill. Sometimes, by the least likely, the person you might overlook could be the next heralded statesman or pen the next best selling book. You can't judge by gender, race, stature, color, or creed. When God decides to use someone, he'll use whomever he needs. I guess we're all famous in our own right, though at times we may forget the greatest deeds have not been done, nor the greatest words spoken yet. One more thing to keep in mind: almost everywhere you go, there's a difference maker God is using whose name you may never know. There's more in store for each of us as you travel along your way. Don't take one person for granted, because history is made every day, every day. So while this is Black History Month, and while the different months of awareness will call attention to different things and different people, every single day there is somebody that is making a difference in someone else's life. We cannot, let me say it one more time, we cannot judge a book by its cover. Can't do it. So many people are doing so many great things, and that's why we enjoy here at When Life Speaks having the power of one to introduce you to people that you may never get to know, whose services you might need, but who definitely are making a difference in someone else's life. Like Dr. Rita Suter that we had on before, and like Pastor Hargrove that we're going to have on later in the month. Tell us about those people. Let us get to know them. Let us come to be able to be partakers of the gifts and the talents and the treasures that they are so willing to serve. They're so willing to serve. And interestingly enough, when I was talking with Dr. Suter, the doors simply kept opening. They just kept opening, such that she had everything that she needed. And we say it all the time: God is only looking for a yes. He just wants someone who is willing. So if you have something on your heart that you want to do, something that you think would benefit someone else in particular, something that you know may make the road a little easier for somebody else, and you haven't done it yet because it's out of your comfort zone, it's not exactly where you think you could be, you don't really have all of the resources, and you've got all of these things going through your mind that are trying to talk you out of it, talk to God. Because if he's sending it your way, he's going to give you absolutely, positively everything that you need in order to get it done, in order for it to come to pass. So I'm very excited that Pastor Hargrove is going to be with us, and she's going to tell us all about how she started the transitional home that she had, and how this daycare came about, and how all of these things are happening in her life. And she just wants to do more. She wants to open up something for young men and boys. And I know that because it is not just her desire, but the desire of God's heart as well, that we help one another, that we minister to one another. And I just know that her testimony is going to be a powerful one, and that as we go through the month celebrating and supporting and talking about how we can serve, that we are going to find some treasures in that we didn't even know were there. So I tell you what, I thank you so much for being with us this evening. I tell you, E2 is just 30 minutes of relaxation just to share some things with you in the evening, and to allow you to just turn down the volume of life just a little bit. Because whenever you do that, you're ready to receive. And when you're ready to receive, when life speaks, you will speak life. That's all I've got for the evening, everybody. If you know somebody who could use this information, go back, ask them to listen, share it. You can share it on a replay. It's quite all right to do. So I thank you for being with me tonight. Come on back next week. I'll be right back here at 7 p.m. for another edition of When Life Speaks. Make it an absolutely amazing day tomorrow. If you have time, join me at 8 in the morning. We come on at 8 a.m. and we give you a point of power, and we give you a victory verse so that you can push through the day and get ready for the weekend. Can't believe it's going to be Friday already tomorrow, but it is, guys. So you come on back, join me. I will be right here on ALH Broadcasting. Make it an absolutely wonderful, relaxing, God-filled evening, and I'll see you again soon. Good night, everybody.